When your old career gives you lemons, throw in some ice, mix in some vodka, and call it a podcast. From the Mac of All Trades studio in Fairport, and driven by Victor Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, it's Billified, the Bill Moran Podcast.
Well, hello and welcome. Thanks for getting your pot on. Thank you for telling a friend. That's how we spread the word about the pirate ship. Look who's here today.
Woo! Happy hump day, my friend. It's Wednesday. It's hotter than hell out. The only thing more smoking hot than Canada is a man to my right.
Remember when the only thing we got from Canada was maple syrup and Nickelback?
Well, don't forget 55% on your dollar when you went up to the strip clubs.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, that was back in the day.
Look at you.
I think I went there on my 18th birthday.
Really?
Yeah, with my buddy to the Sundowner. In fact, I know I did. Yeah, I was like, yeah, you got 55 cents on the dollar.
55 cents on the dollar.
You were getting extra lap dances.
Wow. I walked outside today because Western Ontario is on fire, I guess, and it's blowing to the States. And I'm like, it looks like Instagram made a filter called Los Angeles 1987, and you can put it over your photos.
Right,
It's just like that. It's just weird. And I go, what a weird time we're living in, because if you go back 20 years and you go, you know what you guys are going to live through? A pandemic, murder hornets, drones, AI taking over and writing essays for kids in school, and smoke from another country canceling Little League. Like, you would almost not believe it.
Yeah.
And it's so
I said to a customer today, I Ubered a little bit. Do you remember? I mean, she was too young. I think she's 28. But remember when they said don't use aerosol cans?
Yeah.
Because it's killing the
ozone layer. Yeah.
I'm like, how many miles of acres of hairspray would you have to have? I mean, because this is covering all of Rochester.
Yeah.
How many acres are on fire?
Yeah, I don't
And
know.
then you're like, were aerosol cans really going to destroy the earth?
No.
I'm like, no, I don't think so.
I think China's done their fair share, if that's the...
Yes, that's true. I have a
there's-
buddy that travels, and in certain areas of China and India and New York, I mean, where it's congested, yeah, it's terrible.
Well,
all
certain
the
parts
time,
of
the
China,
smog.
you have to wear masks when
Yeah.
you walk outside because you get covered in ash as you're walking around if you go to Shanghai.
Mhm.
I'm like, I don't know.
I don't know how you clean that up unless you start putting fans on every building to blow it up and distribute it.
Yeah.
Get some
Well,
kind of
I mean,
ventilation of some sort.
I guess that could be. Here's the thing is, like, the one thing I always loved about Canada is how polite people are. You know what I mean? Like, they're always that way.
Oh, yeah. Would you like a lap dance? A. I'm like, yeah. A, B, C, D. I got enough money to go up to F.
Somewhere in Ontario, there's a guy going, hey, sorry about the smog, eh? All your respiratory problems. I don't know. Some people panic over this stuff. And I guess, I always think we're somewhere in the middle. There's some guy walking outside smoking a cigar. I saw him this morning. He was on a walk smoking a cigar. I go, that is a dude who's getting his wife off his back. He's out walking and he's smoking a cigar because she doesn't know what he's doing.
Try not to panic about things until it's time to.
Yes. Yes.
You don't need that extra stress on yourself.
No, but life isn't risk-free. It's risk managed. You know what I mean? I mean, that's
right.
what life is. You don't get to
play quick
see
draw.
what's
People
coming.
like, I don't gamble. I'm like, every day is a gamble, my
That's
friend.
right.
When you wake up, you're gambling.
You
today.
are the
One
living
way.
scratch-off ticket,
Absolutely.
Dougie Fresh.
Oh, I've been hitting no pay the past few days.
Oh, really?
Well, I mean, the way I felt. So
Yeah, you've been
feeling-
sick.
yeah.
Or maybe it's the air quality from Canada that really
Maybe
fucked
somebody
you up.
suggested that.
Yeah, it could
so
be.
Monday, Bill and I played in Mulconry's tournament with
The offer
Kevin
for
and his
autism.
son
Yeah.
for autism. And I came and I didn't really feel well. My stomach was bothering me. And as the day went on,
Got
I was
worse
either-
and
got
worse and
allergies.
worse.
Bill's, is everything okay? Everything
Yeah.
okay? And I'm like, just not feeling myself. I'm sorry, I can't. And I was trying to drink it away, and it did not help at all. So I went home and had 11, 12 hours of sleep. We had a good time.
Yeah.
And the best part about that was Kevin's son, the way he golfs.
He's amazing.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, kid's amazing.
And then looking back, Kevin's like, well, we're not going to win. We could have won. We could have won with a few better shots and a little slowing down because this kid was killing it 300 yards in the drive.
Yeah.
I mean, lobbing it
onto the green.
30 foot. The first putt for birdie was 30 feet away. He drains it. I'm just like, who is? I mean, just impressive.
It was impressive.
So, again, I don't, I wasn't in the joking mood because I felt bad, but also to watch somebody to be in that foursome of that quality of golf to me is just is awesome.
Yeah, he was great.
Yeah,
he was really good, which is nice to see. And he's such a nice kid.
Yeah, he is.
Kevin has really, really, really nice kids, which I always think is such a testament to the parents. But then you look at Kevin, and you go, "Wait, how is this possible?"
Right. The mailman's a really nice guy.
I heard you say that.
You did? I didn't think you heard me say anything.
I heard you say that. I heard you say that when I laughed. I laughed out loud at you. Doug. Now you're getting me worried here.
No, I'm coming off of the cold.
You sure?
Or whatever it is. The allergies. Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I've been pounding soup, orange juice.
Yeah. What else? Anything? Take a little garlic.
Robitussin.
Knock you out.
That tussin.
That'll make you sleep.
Allergy medicine and ibuprofen.
Wow.
Every 4 hours.
You're loaded up here.
Yeah. I'm not one for medicine. I'm usually hot soup, hot shower, hot soup, hot shower, repeat till you burn that shit out. Open up all your pores.
Yeah.
And then get your body going.
I don't know, wildfire 800 miles away decided your lungs are going to have a bad day today. Right?
Dehydration too. I'm gonna tell you something.
Yeah.
I usually don't share, but because it happened. So Tuesday I woke up and usually go to the bathroom. I could not. My stool was harder than anything to try to pass that morning. And while I'm there thinking of you because you like your poop jokes, I Googled, my stool is incredibly hard. They said dehydration.
Yeah.
So I had nothing else to do but to think of you and Google what's wrong in my asshole. So I finally got it through. But it was
what
painful.
do you think it was? That had to hurt.
It did.
Yeah.
Bad.
Yeah.
Oh, well, dehydration. And maybe again because of
do you drink a lot of water?
I don't.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Yeah. Because I mean, I think that's one of the things that we don't think of. Maybe it's overdone. I was saying to somebody the other day, I go, when I was a kid, you used to go in with a 2-liter bottle of soda, put it in the freezer. Like you would have water in there, right? An empty bottle, 2-liter bottle, put it in the freezer, and then you'd carry it to school and have it for practice. So you'd have cold water. But I don't remember getting many water breaks during football practice.
Not back then. Now it's mandatory.
Yeah, and I think it's a good thing because guys,
absolutely,
getting dizzy.
And more importantly, for your older generation, like my parents, their problems stem from dehydration. So I went and bought a 6-pack of water too.
For them or for you?
For me. Fuck them. They had their shot. They've been giving me advice for 50 years if they haven't figured that out. But no, I guess 8 glasses of water a day.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
At least one bottle.
I always
Is that water or is that vodka?
No, it's always water. Buddy.
Jameson, always
water.
Always. Can I taste it?
Mm-hmm. I usually I didn't today. I squeeze a full lemon and a full lime in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get a little citrus fun.
Get a little citrus. Keep away the scurvy.
Mm-hmm.
It's good to detox the body a little bit. I haven't been drinking as much. That was the first day I drank, and I drank pretty good that day. But I left and went home around 7:00. After some of the stuff, I'm like, I got stuff to do the next day.
Yeah. My head was pounding. I never get headaches. I was just pounding. I did win one.
You won a raffle?
Yeah.
My man.
The whiskey bottle of not the fire, the police department.
Oh, cool.
Basket. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So I'm gonna.
That was pretty good, right?
4 tickets to the Red Wings Saturday.
You won those too?
Yeah, that was all in the package.
Wow.
He had 4 nice bags.
Golf bags. Yeah. They had a lot of great stuff that they were auctioning off. It was a great day.
Yeah.
And it really benefited Autism Up. I know his daughter uses their services, and it's a unique way that started, right? Because it's not something that I think people were really maybe highly aware of We just, we didn't know. And
I know about Mary Cariola. I'm not really sure what Autism Up is.
So Autism Up is more for kids who are on the autism spectrum. And it was like a lot of moms looking for a way to go, ooh, I've got something with my kid. And there's really nobody that is doing anything that can really help them. Like all in one place. Mm-hmm. So they started this. It was just like 8 moms who got together for coffee and they came up with this idea. And so it's been going on for years. I used to MC a lot of their stuff. But they were doing it for years. Like at the art gallery, they would have a gala. They had it at the High Falls. And now they're every year at the convention center downtown. But it took a number of years to really grow and to get interest, and it's the money and it's all these things, and they've done a fantastic job, and now they're part of the Golisano Center, and they're all in there, and it's great. There's a lot of social skills for kids who are maybe like now it's like level 1, 2, and 3 is what they call it. So a child with level 1, high functioning, could be in an ordinary classroom, but there are some things that kind of stand out. Social awareness and social cues are really one of those. And they do a really, really great job with all that. And then there's activities for them to do. Sometimes there's even like a break for parents. There might be some classes for parents. And, it is a spectrum. You can have kids who are nonverbal all the way to the other. So I think that it's certainly, and it's unique. And one of my favorite things about organizations like that is they are organic to this area. And not that, there are other national organizations, and I'm sure they do great work, but I like knowing that the money stays here.
Yeah.
And I can actually go to the facility and see what's going on. And, I would say to anybody, when somebody's doing something like this, none of these organizations run on air. You know what I mean? I mean, it's not like
100%.
Right. So you've got to put a little muscle behind it. And it's a lot of these things that I think that help.
I wonder what the percentage of autism has gone up since we were in grammar school, because I never remember anything like this. And now,
no, right. There's people that you can look back and go, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. I remember one kid like that. He had a little deformed. It might have been an accident, but he was a little, looking back now, this was in grammar school.
Right.
And I think, unfortunately, I think he got hit by a car running across the street.
I think that what we're seeing is like things that where some kids just sort of struggled and got pushed through the system. They were a C student or whatever, and no one was really hitting their interest or all. There's a better awareness to that now. But I think that I have a friend who is so they're saying 1 in 31 8-year-old children are diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder.
1 out of every 131?
One out of every 31.
One out of every 31
is
on the spectrum.
Yeah.
Really?
And then an estimated 1 in 45 adults in the United States is autistic. Usually higher. I would think, diagnosed rates are higher among minority groups compared to white children. That I find that to be a little bit surprising, only because I think that if you're going to break it down and you go socioeconomic standards, for the most part, most white people probably have better access to things, doctors, money, all that stuff. So I think there's a higher rate of diagnosis there, but I don't know. It's one of these things where I think it's just improved public awareness. I really do. And I think that that's where you start to see the spectrum stuff. And I have a friend who works, he's a PhD, and he works with children on the autism spectrum. He wrote a book about using video games as part of the play because they can relate better, and how to incorporate that sort of thinking into their lives. So that he had a client that he talks about in the book that the parents were losing their mind. The kid would take like a 90-minute shower. Right. And now the paint's peeling off the wall because it's so hot. Right. And it's just peeling shit out. The guy, like, I can only imagine my old man. Like, he'd be like, oh, right. And Dr. Rice worked with this guy. And this is what he did. He said, imagine your shower as a video game and what music would be playing. And then he helped the kid put together a soundtrack that the young man would listen to while he showered, and he cut it down to about 20 minutes
for a shower.
Yeah. I mean, right. And we could say that still seems excessive, but
I take a 20-minute shower.
yeah.
Sometimes.
So at the different points when the music changed, the kid knew that was the time he used to wash whatever body part in this. And this is a guy who was probably I don't know. I'm going to say a level 2, but I don't know. And he also had a job where he worked. I think he worked at, I don't know what the convent. There's a convent locally, and his job was to like clean up, like before the other nuns came in, and he hated the job and he got annoyed with it. So then they decided, well, you're like Pac-Man, and when they're done, you got to go eat up their plates. And the kid was like, got all kinds of right. So it's just taking something, and it goes back to meeting the person where they are, which I think sometimes is very hard for a lot of people because we want you to fit in the system, and this is the way we do it, and tough shit. And maybe there's a little bit of, we should have a little bit of that to adapt, right, and be societal norms. But on the other hand, having a little bit of understanding doesn't necessarily hurt. And Rob will say to you, he thinks it's evolution. So I don't know. And you've got savants and things. I mean, I think Elon Musk is Asperger's, or which would be like a level 1 now of autism. Mm-hmm.
His wheels are always going.
Yeah. I mean, this is what, you can't tell me that some of the greatest inventions in the world weren't built by weird people with no social skills whatsoever. I mean, that's just the way it was.
Edison?
Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's like that's the whole thing. So I don't know. There's just it's just interesting as we,
it's different how all our minds work differently.
Yes, and it's a great thing.
I mean, Freud figured out a bunch of this stuff out, and you must have been nonstop.
Freud?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the id, the ego, and the super ego was Freud. The id is the part of the mind that you're sort of born with. It's all your urges and everything, and then the ego would be you controlling that and being able to do it. And the super ego is when you can kind of know when to use it and when not to use those types of things. But yeah, and then he had everything was sex with him, more or less. There was the because I think it went, what were the labels? Oral, which was a baby, but it was oral, anal, phallic, and genital. And those
I'll just stick with the oral.
And the stage
I'm stuck on one.
Of Freud. I'm pretty sure, if I'm remembering correctly, that those are the stages. And then oral wasn't and anal isn't what we would think, but this is where you can get anal retentive, right? And so they say like a baby that was, you can under serve a baby's needs or over protect a baby's needs, and that will affect how, according to Freud, they view the world, right? Everything should be done for me versus, the other. And I think that's part of what we're seeing. I don't know. Anal, then you become like anal retentive, somebody who's has organization, but then there's other people who, right? So I'd have to go back, and I really should look at some of that stuff. But yeah, Freud was, sure, he was something.
He was.
He was something.
I mean, everybody knows Freud for whatever reason.
Yes. Well, because of the sex stuff, right? The sex stuff. I mean, when you start calling things oral, anal, phallic, and genital,
my ears went up. I'll tell you that. Tell me more.
I think
at least for 5 minutes.
There's almost a part of me that goes, what he was saying was things that people would, all of a sudden it would be like listening to Charlie Brown's parents until he goes, the oral stage, and people go, oh, wait,
let me take notes.
The anal stage, whoa, anal, as I like to call it. Lovely woman.
That might have been her name today. I got proposition today while we break.
Stop.
She was 4'9".
Wow. Is that legally?
I was around Child Street in Lyle.
Be careful.
Well, I missed my turn, and I mean, she was just sweet and petite. I had a turn, and there was a dump truck in front of me, and then she thought I was pulling over to see her, but I couldn't go around it because there was traffic coming. It's like, hey, what's going on? I'm like, nothing.
Yeah.
You want to have some fun? I'm like, actually, I'm working.
Yeah. Did you say, listen, I really can't be exerting myself today?
I go, what are your rates?
What are your rates?
I go, what do you charge? She goes, whatever I can get. I'm like, oh, that's good. And I drove away. Had to ask that. Had to be polite,
What,
She was cute. She couldn't have been over 25. I'm like, oh God. And it's drugs. And you feel she's so pretty.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not that she can't get a part-time job at McDonald's. I mean, she's doing it for some reason.
Well, because it's easier.
Right.
Or she's working for somebody.
True. Or she hasn't read Freud.
Or she hasn't read Freud. I mean, that may be true too. I mean, she may not even know. Freud? I was arrested for Freud once.
Yeah. I didn't get her name though.
What do you think it was? Misty? Candy?
No,
Chastity?
like Julie or something like that.
Julie?
Yeah, something.
Come on.
Yeah.
That's a lame.
She was 4 foot nothing, 100 pounds maybe.
Wow.
Just over.
You 21. Really were quite smitten with this woman, weren't you?
Oh, she thought. I mean, she came back and, hey, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, I'm driving Uber. You want some fun? I'm like, yeah. Who wouldn't? What are your rates? I'll take whatever I can get. I'm like, oh, that's right, but I got to go pick up this person.
Yeah, it's not a good day. Not a good day for me. I have asthma, and it's just a bad day. Right. Thank you, Canada. Thanks a lot, Canada.
Got to figure out some way to put these out.
What, the fires?
Yeah, there's no way.
Yeah, I don't know.
Was it you I was talking to? Even if you had a big frozen block like inside a plane and dropped it off, it would.
I mean,
it would evaporate before it even got there.
I think there's a lot of they try to dump in water and they try doing other things. I don't know what Canada's doing. I would assume everything's fairly similar.
Kodiak Bear, eh?
Yeah, right.
We're doing what we can, eh? Watching Billified, eh? He's got some ideas. I think they're going to be good.
Well, it is. There's something to me that is very humbling. And it makes you sort of, at least for me, and I know I can get a little weird with things, but
a little weird. You
realize that a fire hundreds of miles away has a direct impact on your day. It can actually change it. I mean, there are people, look, listen to your doctor. You know what I mean? If you're over a certain age, maybe you shouldn't go outside. If you have asthma, don't go outside. If you're if you're 18 or under, you don't have Little League practice today. I don't know what to tell you.
Years ago, I'd visited California. There was a movie convention thing, I was trying to sell Night of the Can. That was 30 years ago. But I mean, even that, I mean, you could taste the embers.
Yeah.
From the mountains.
LA has always surprised me in that, the Santa Ana winds happen all the time. Yeah. Right. So those winds will just feed these fires. And you have the epic one that just burned Malibu basically to the ground. And I'm always surprised, too, that we aren't doing that. There isn't more because leadership that's saying, hey, we have to change the infrastructure and take our power and things underground, especially in those areas because we're close to the coast and we do get the Santa Ana winds. Mm-hmm. So in places like that, why aren't we putting everything that's above ground, telephone poles, that sort of thing, and putting it below the ground? Because that is one way that sometimes, all of a sudden the transformer gets blown down, it lands in a dry patch, and what do we got? Yeah. And we just have, it is just a blowing on it. And these are things that I think, like, for us as human beings, we hate uncertainty. So we want to try to control everything. And sometimes, especially for us here, where we are in Western New York, there's nothing you can do about it.
Well, I think there was a suggestion made by this administration the first time Trump was in office, and he was going to remove miles, the size of a football field.
Okay.
So if the fires got so hot, they couldn't jump. And then...
So we're going to do like a slash and burn where they used to do to clear fields?
Well, they're going to clear fields.
Right, so there's nothing there to burn is basically.
Right,
yeah.
And if it was burning in one area, it wouldn't be able to jump and get to wherever. And people that, that's a waste of trees and environment and this, that. And I'm like...
It isn't.
Well, if it can be proven, because people were literally burning to death.
Yeah,
and,
sure.
They're trying to get in their cars out of there. Then they're boiling in their cars to death. I'm like, Jesus, who wants to die that way?
Let me tell you this too. Even if you survive that, there's something that is so sort of, I guess the only word to say is devastating, because everything you have in your home, some things you don't even remember you still have there, but they had, unless you're really a hoarder, they have some kind of significant meaning.
Right.
And my parents, the house my dad built, burned right down to the basement. And I think I upset my old man because the fire department came out and they, for whatever reason, we were in such a rural area. I think he had a propane gas hot water heater, and something happened. It caught fire and it started shooting out the line and then across the basement, and they had clothes hanging back there, so that just goes up. And my old man was one of these guys who was always say, if you know the rules, if you know how to do it, then you can break the rules and do it any way you want. And sometimes I think he did it just to piss my mom off, but the washing machine fill line wasn't working properly, so my old man decided he was just going to run a garden hose through the back window of the basement and tack it into all the rafters and then have it, and he would just fill the washing machine that way because he didn't feel like he knew how to do all this, or he didn't feel like paying, or maybe the septic was, I don't know, because they had a septic system. All I remember is my mother was so flipping mad when we came and my kids were little and you got shitty diapers and somebody farts and all of a sudden it's a goddamn mushroom cloud coming out of their little hiney and you got to wash everything. And my mother was so pissed. But that was a bad day. I mean, and then my mom is trying to gather things and she's going to get her car out. And as she starts her car and she hits the garage door well, maybe she didn't even get in the car. She hit the garage door opener and the door stops halfway because the power got cut all of a sudden. That fire was spreading to that part of the house. And my old man.
You were all there?
No.
Oh.
It was just my parents at that point.
Okay.
And, but every picture, every memory,
Right.
every thing that you had from like a trip, they had a lot of things that they liked from Ireland and they would travel often. And so all those things were gone. It was all just that was it forever. And I think with, even if it's Malibu and you go, it's their second home, fuck these rich fucks. I'm sorry. It's still stuff that they had. And it was, and it's horrible.
Valuable to them.
Yes. And then I sometimes now it's amazing to me. I've never really resided in any other state where I was paying tax. I mean, for early 20s, I was living at my uncle's house, so it wasn't me paying the taxes in Park City, Utah. But that was brief too, a couple months. I have never lived in another place to know, but I can tell you this, like zoning stuff, I get it. I understand the zoning. I know we don't want everything to be crapped up and shitted up and looking bad. When I lived in a town around here, I had to go before the board because the house I bought had a one of those kits that you would make a sunroom, right? And it was all like the plastic coming down. It looked like a little greenhouse, and it had like a knee wall that it came down to. Well, some of the stuff is popping out. It was cracked, and the people were selling it. And it turned out that was built, how about this, for a little boy that had cancer and couldn't go outside. So this was his way to sort of be outside. So I wanted to get rid of that because it looked like shit. And I wanted to build the sunroom, and I did stone on the outside. But I had to go before the town board to get approval. So here I come with my graph paper and little circles to go before the town board to say, hey, I'm going to build this. Here are the dimensions. Here's the thing. Here's all the stuff. And there's another guy who comes and he's got blueprints and he's rolling them out. And I'm like freaking out because he's before me. I go, there's no fucking way they're going to let me do this because I don't have blueprints. And they were totally cool. It was like fine because as long as it fit what they're trying to do, like this is where I would say I hate human suffering, but I get conservative stuff at a small town level. You don't want your place shitted up. I get it, right? Because people do it. When I had a townhouse, I remember going to put a deck on. And I had to get so many fucking permits for a deck. And the basic thing they said was, because a lot of guys, grab 3 cases of beer, have their buddies out, and build some piece of shit that collapsed like the Titanic.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got everybody on it. So you can't have that either. And then even with the sunroom, man, this will be coming up this weekend is the first anniversary of the passing of my father. God rest his soul. But he God.
Has it been a year already?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. He came up and I had to go to work. I was doing, morning radio and all this, and he's going to help with the sunroom. And we had plans, and I was using 12 by 16 beams for my rafters. And he's telling me that it's too big. You don't need it that big. Blah, blah, blah. So everything's measured out. Like, I have it. I know what I'm doing. I got it going. He's going to help. At the time, my old man, who was not like, once he stopped drinking, but he was about he's 6'2", 270 pounds. Nice big gut on him, right? And he got stuck like Winnie the fucking Pooh in between the rafters. And my brother was there to help because my brother was going to Cornell at the time. So my dad picked him up, and my brother goes, all you saw was Dad's legs because he couldn't reach the ladder like this. I go, where's the video?
Where's the video? Where's the picture?
And then he changed them, and I could never get the roof even. It drove me insane. God. I was so pissed off because they wouldn't lay even the way he had it. I'm like, God damn. And I wanted to rip them all out, but it was already done. Plywood was on. What am I going to do? But I'm up on the roof. I'm trying to lay down tarp. I go, this is a fucking.
Did you tell him? What did he say?
What am I going to say? What am I going to say?
Right. Exactly.
I mean, what the fuck am I? I mean, I don't even mean to be that mean, but like, what are you going to say?
Be that mean. Well, I know I am.
No,
not really.
No, because he gave it. He wanted to help. He did this out of the, you know what I mean? But whatever happened. But the thing was like, it was almost like he knew better. There's no way Willie can do this all by himself. He can't build it, blah, blah, blah. I was on construction sites for, a lot of years through high school and early college. I mean, come on.
Besides that, it's yours.
Yes.
If you make the mistake, fine, but you got to look at somebody else's mistake.
Well,
not only that, your father's mistake.
The greatest thing, though, was he was really hitting the sauce at the time. I'm sure my family will love me talking about this. So he comes up. And it was when I was doing the outside of it, right? So now I'm putting up the faux rock, and I'm trying to figure out kind of the spacing and get all that. And then to grout it, it's like a lot because you got to really squeeze. It's like, you're taking whatever. So he comes up, and I somehow convince him I got this. So he pulls over one of the Adirondack chairs, and he sits down, and he is just drinking a bottle of whiskey. Like just there.
Whiskey.
Oh, yeah. Scotch, maybe it was scotch. My neighbor.
What a bottle.
Behind me.
No ice.
No, I don't think there. Well, I don't know. I think there had to be ice, but he's getting pretty toasted. And my neighbor behind me is from Greece, the country, and was a professional soccer player over there. Older gentleman by this point. I think his family owned a diner on the west side, but he lived over with me. By me, and he comes over and he's like, "Hey, Bill, it looks so good." Yeah. And my father's like, "Hey!" And he's getting up and he's like saying shit. And I'm like, "Oh my God. And I finally just went, I got to get on the ladder because I can't do anything. That was it. There's so many weird things happen now that I'm thinking about it. I'm up on a ladder, and I guess my mom was visiting. A guy is coming down the road on a motorcycle, and there's a little tiny like Prius or something that's going to come onto my street, but it's on the street across the street. However, the streets don't line up to be perpendicular, right? So it's not a straight line. You got to kind of come this way, and it's almost hard to see what's coming.
Same guy that built your sunroof.
Yeah, I guess the engineering. So, dude, I wasn't sure what happened. I hear brakes screeching, all this stuff. I think the guy went to swerve out of the way, and on the bike hit all the debris that's on the side of the road, mostly pebbles and things, right? The stones.
Pebbles are terrible.
They're terrible. He loses it, and all I see is I thought it was a kid in a go-kart. It was the guy on his back. He had a leather jacket sliding. I'm telling you, this guy had to go nearly 500 feet away from the bike. The bike is dumped like at the corner of the road.
That far, huh?
I Doug, I don't know. I watched this because he had to be going. I think a lot of us, and I was saying this to my kids the other day because we were down by Canandaigua Lake, and a Donzi fired up, and I go, "Those are fun boats to ride." I said, "But if you ever want to feel what speed really is, sit on an open bow boat and go 60." I don't think you can go 60 on Canandaigua Lake, but I went 60 on the Hudson River once, and I remember going, "Oh my God!" It felt like your face was going to get ripped off because you're just flying along. Makes you wonder how a dog sticks his head out the window, and I think that we just don't appreciate what 30 miles an hour will do. 30 miles an hour will fucking kill you.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it will kill you potentially. They used to have those things. Remember the Dita? I don't know if they had them at your school. There were a lot of, I was in such a rural area and drinking was the big thing. We had keg parties in fields and all that. If you didn't twist an ankle, someone was dying in a car accident. And they had like the simulator that would go 10 miles an hour down like this ramp, and it would just slam into something at 10 miles an hour. And I think it was,
I've seen those later in life.
Yeah, they were jarring. I don't see them anywhere. I don't know anymore.
On Reels on Facebook.
Oh, do they still do that
They
stuff?
had the car going in 10 miles, 30, 50, and the car is just getting smashed from the back to the front.
Right. And it just shows you like how much that is. And I just don't
Yeah.
think we like appreciate the speed. Because I just saw something, and this is why being a celebrity absolutely sucks. Because Bill Belichick's daughter-in-law is wanted on a arrest warrant in North Carolina.
Really?
Yes. And
as we speak?
I'm pretty sure as we speak.
For speeding?
So she was clocked doing 88 in a 70. So, okay. Well, thank you for doing that, because I think that newer cars today, it's very hard sometimes to tell how fast you're going.
Oh, look at the speedometer.
No, I understand. But if you're just keeping up with traffic, or you know what I mean, you don't feel like you're flying, and you're the one they pick out. So I don't think this would ever make the news, but it's probably one of these things that it's Bill's son, who was the defensive coordinator for the Tar Heels under him. So it's his wife. I think she didn't show up to court July 14th. Maybe an oversight. I don't think she's trying to duck the ticket. I really don't. And they said, there wasn't an arrest warrant as of yet, but she's going to need to hire a lawyer or contest this or whatever. And I go, how many people have gotten a speeding ticket, maybe in the same spot as she did, and we don't hear shit? This is where being a celebrity sucks, because it's everywhere.
And she's not even a celebrity. She's a daughter.
No, we're exactly right. But it's Bill Belichick, because I think there is a piece of us that say they think they're better than us. Yeah, they're not going to pay the ticket, are they? As I myself have forgotten to pay a ticket.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And I went online today and paid my ticket.
When did you get it?
When I would
not Monday, I hope.
No, I got it. No. I got a speeding ticket downstate on the Taconic State Parkway. I think it's 55, and I was doing 70 something. Came up over hill. My mother kept saying, "The cops are always hanging here. The cops are here." Boom! I got lit up, and she was in the car. My son was in the car, and this was for Easter. Over Easter
this year.
Yeah.
Okay.
We were going to Maine to do some spring skiing, and then.
Well, I take my dad to Turning Stone for bingo, and I go 80. And he goes, "You're going 80."
Turning Stone's a ride, dude. That's 2 hours.
If my dad is driving, it is. If I'm driving, it's not. And he goes, "You're going 80." And I go, "If we get pulled over, you have to use the bathroom like right now." Where are you going in a hurry? This is my father. He's 81 years old. He has a bladder problem, sir. I don't want him to pee in my car, and I don't want him to be disrespectful. I'm getting off here. He has to go, right, Dad? Yeah. That's my play. I tell him every time we get pulled over, that's what we're using.
Have you had to use it yet?
No.
So you don't know if it'll work.
No. Did I tell you I got pulled over by this cute blonde?
Here we go.
No, I did.
Here we go.
This is not a joke.
This is a total
like
setup.
3 weeks ago. No.
Come on.
I got pulled over. It was on a Sunday. It was Harborfest.
Yeah.
And it was on Lake and Latta. I just passed Kim's woodshed, and I see the gumball machines on. I'm like, oh, it must be a fight down to the beach. And I pulled over, and she pulls over with me.
Uh-oh.
I'm like, hello, officer. You know why I pulled over? I'm like, no. You went through that red light. I'm like, oh, officer. I go, this is my Uber rider. I'm like, I was just talking about being careful. I'm like, I never go through red lights. It was definitely yellow. No, it was red. Officer, I know I wouldn't be doing that, especially with all the traffic today. It was yellow. It was red. It was a cute female. She goes, can I see your license? I go, of course you can. I go, clean as a whistle. And she went back, and then she came back. She goes, just be careful. I go, thank you.
Wow.
I should have gave her my card. Oh. She was real cute. Hey, why? And it's odd enough because the night before I was at a retirement party for somebody, and I met girl's husband, and he had kind of a get out of free jail card if
Yeah.
you ever get in trouble.
Yeah,
and my
yeah.
buddy had it with his number on it.
Yeah,
Like,
I've had it.
I don't. I drive pretty
I've had it.
safe, and it was the day before, so she let me go.
Yeah.
I should have got it.
Oh, good for you. But
Yeah.
I just paid almost $250
Yeah.
for a speeding ticket because there's also, I'm paying it online, right? With the surcharge, I think we're talking like $230. I don't even know. And then a $14 surcharge.
Yeah.
to pay online.
Like you're going to a,
And I go, I'm not going back to,
like.
I'm not going back to Chatham, but I
What do you need a surcharge? Just give me the fine.
So
What's the surcharge for?
the surcharge is how they make their money. The state.
Well, the state's making the money on the ticket.
Uh,
Who's getting that money?
Probably the town,
The promoter?
the cop. I don't know.
Oh,
I have no
God.
idea. But I could go through and I could do the. You know what? I'll try to pull it up and see if I can do the breakdown because that's interesting.
Now
that
I'm
you
all
say that.
for that. I would like to see the yellow cones with the cameras on them
Mm.
up and down in Charlotte to slow people down. 35 miles an hour. You don't have to go 55,
No,
65
I
miles.
will tell you, and I know that I'm.
And there are some places in America that do have them. Better than the going through the red light that Lovely got. The
red light
the
cameras.
blue lights.
That was
yeah,
that was a cash.
that was
grab.
terrible.
That was a cash grab.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we got rid of them because
Because it was a cash grab and it was illegal. It was a violation
What a
of
waste of money.
constitutional right. They were doing it everywhere in the country. I understand the. I always think with a lot of things, and I'll even say this for COVID, the intention was good in the beginning, and then it was like, ooh, let's put a few more up because you're grabbing money. You know what I mean? And
the lights were after COVID.
well, there's
before
always people.
COVID.
I always call them the roll through crew, right? They were the ones getting because then all of a sudden they don't stop at the line; they stop sort of in the walkway. They were getting tickets
Yeah.
for that, and
As technically you
maybe we
should.
should. Yes, I often think
I've gotten caught there a couple times yesterday. Yesterday, getting off East Henrietta Road, I'm right in the walkway. I'm like, gosh damn that, no turn on red. I'm already
Right.
too late. So the walker had to walk behind me. Other times, I had a woman, a young girl, hit my car with her purse.
yeah. She
And
what?
She hit my car with her purse. This was like 3 years ago. She was walking with her mother, and I was in the walkway, and she's just bitching up a storm. This sucks. That sucks. She look at this guy. She hits my car with a purse. I go, hey, bitch, what's your fucking problem?
Well, you were in the walkway.
I was in the walkway.
Yeah, the roll through crew, Doug.
Yeah.
You
Well,
do. You just
you don't
said.
hit somebody's car. I could have been a crazy fuck too and pull out a gun.
Yeah, I you know what? I guess that's true. I hate to even think that, but I guess that
Yeah.
is true. That's where
Wasn't
we
it-
are in the world.
I watched the news for the first time in probably a year last night. The first three things were stabbings and shootings, and I'm like, yeah.
That makes
Back to
sense.
Family Guy. I've had enough.
All right, we'll take a moment. I want to see what the breakdown on the ticket was,
Okay.
price wise, because I think that's sort of interesting. And then I'll tell you something that I always say to my kids, even though I never followed it myself as a person their age.
Mm.
We'll get to all that right after this.
Oh, I will take a water.
Yeah, I think I don't think I have any in there, Dougie.
Session number 2 here. Happy hump day, everybody. Coming from Parma. You got the one, the only, the hip shaking, money making Tyler, power man of the hour 24/7. Dougie Fresh. Next to me laughing his ass off for whatever reason. Are we not in Parma? We are Parmesan. That's what I'm talking about. He's cheesy as it is. 6'2" and eyes of blue. Mr. Bill Moran. We're not in Parma?
No.
Farmington? Where are we?
I just went outside, Doug.
yeah.
I haven't seen this much smoke since my uncle discovered brisket.
Hey! Ho!
Oh, hey.
It's tough outside, man.
Yeah, go ahead. Oh, I was
No,
waiting.
I didn't have a joke for it. Just
Wow.
Mother Nature. Don't mess with Mother Nature. You're
Well,
gonna win.
what I was starting to say before is that we like to believe we're sort of in control of everything as human beings, don't you? Right? Whether it's our schedule, our health, our
Right.
plans. But every once in a while, life reminds us in a way that we're all connected, on this planet. We just are. And the air I'm breathing today started somewhere else. I mean, clearly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And maybe that's true of more than just the air. Maybe the water you're drinking started somewhere. I all this stuff. And
if you watch the Discovery Planet, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Like 78% of all fresh water comes from the Antarctic once it starts melting and goes all over the earth. It's amazing.
Yeah. And I would think maybe our actions, our kindness, our stupidity, our generosity.
And domino effects down the line.
I think it all travels farther than we think.
Maybe a joke does.
Yeah, but I mean, I think when
a joke goes farther than a negative thought.
I hope you're right, but my point being, like, when you're an asshole to somebody and then they're affected by that, and then they tell somebody.
Like if I go out in the community right now and I go to McDonald's, I go, that was just on the podcast with Moran. He's a big asshole. Or if I tell a knock joke that they think is funny, that would probably last longer than
Yes, you were getting some laughs from the ladies at the golf tournament. I saw that.
Yeah, I tried to.
Yeah. Dougie Fresh.
Try to bounce back and make it happen. It just wasn't happening.
It's all right. You were...
Audrey, though. I got to find Audrey. I got to show you this picture.
Oh, boy.
She and Dougie Fresh was bartending. I was back in action. Met this girl, Audrey.
I know Audrey.
You do?
Yes, I know Audrey well.
Okay.
Yep.
And then she's like, I'm going to be the drunkest one on the course. There's before and after Audrey. So we were pulling out. It was the only thing pulling out that day.
That's right, buddy.
And I'm like, hey, I'm going to get a picture before and after Audrey. She's like, I love this idea. So I only got 2 pictures.
You had the before.
And this was...
That's the before? Or
no,
after?
that was the after. That was like 3 beers in.
Okay. Well.
And did I get her later that night? Yes. But that wasn't really a good picture because it's more me and I wasn't feeling my best.
Yeah, that's all right. That's all right.
She friends with you now on Facebook? I want to get her these. You don't know.
I don't know.
You've got like 4,000 friends.
Do I? I don't know. I don't know what I have. I should know.
Yeah.
I know Audrey. I'll probably see her in the next couple days.
Oh.
If I stop by the pub. She works there. So
okay.
Speeding tickets. It says that it's terrible.
What?
Nothing. Somebody sent me a text. I'll tell you. I will tell you, so you don't think I'm talking behind your back. It has nothing to do with you, though.
I don't think it is.
No, all right. Well, you know how uncomfortable it is. Like, I always hate when somebody goes, and then they go, I can't tell you. And
somebody talking in your backswing.
I didn't mean to do that.
I know.
It wasn't on purpose.
Buddy, I know.
I did. I talked on your backswing, and man, that shot it looked like I shot it.
Right.
On a good day. The speeding tickets, it says $93 surcharge for a town or village, $88 for a city or municipality. I don't get. So I guess the town or village also gets a cut of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's a kickback. And then all I know is like it's $15 or $16 to process it on the thing. So I'd have to.
So what was it? $122?
No, it was $244.
Oh, well, where's the breakdown? I thought you were looking
I
at
couldn't
that.
find the breakdown because I don't have the ticket with me to put my ticket number in, but I will.
So let's say $90 goes to the town.
Yeah.
There's still $110.
Yeah.
Let's say $10 for processing fee, and then there's $100 going to New York State.
Mm.
It always amazes me how New York State is always out of money, and we also get a budget to pay for.
Yeah. And I think a lot of things, like, they're getting a lot of tax revenue from, I would assume, from the gambling and from the
from liquor and cigarettes.
legalize marijuana.
Legalize marijuana.
Yeah. And those other things as well.
Yeah.
Although there is a bit of a decline, I think, in some of those, but I don't know. It's just that is interesting. What are you gonna do? I always say to my sons, though, do not. What really bothers me, and I love driving fast, man. There's nothing like taking it from, let's say, 80 miles an hour up to 120 as you come out of a turn on a racetrack. That's a wonderful, exhilarating feeling. There's nothing I can really describe that matches it, at least for me. But when I see somebody on an expressway, weaving in and out of traffic and just flying, or they've got that loud muffler that you can hear, loud pipe saves lives on bikes. I get it. On cars, it's like obnoxious. and they come up so quick, they startle people. I go, you don't know who's in.
Absolutely, 100%.
You could wipe out an entire family. And I always say this, and I love when my kids start. Now they're at the age where they start turning it back on me, and I'll always go, "You're not as good as you think. You're not as good as you think. Like you can't." I mean, my favorite one ever was going to the Adirondacks when the Mac of all trades studio we're in. They had an annual trip to the Adirondacks, and we would one day. Everybody got those side by sides, so you would rent a side by side. I forget what they're called, but they're basically like a go-kart, little go-kart on steroids. So we're all driving the snowmobile trails in the summer. And I decided, and because I knew it was bothering my friend, who Tony McCafferty and his wife were behind me, and I would fishtail, so it would kick up a lot of dust, and fishtails.
Oh, that's nice.
And so I just kept doing that. So now we would stop at different bars, and my kid goes, "Hey, can I drive?" I go, "You can." So he's driving, and I started to which would be weird, right? Because these are loud and they're bumpy, and I'm starting to nod off. I probably had a few too many, and all of a sudden I can feel the whole thing, and I go, "Slow down." "Oh, it's just having fun, Dad." I go, "Buddy, slow down." And then he's like, "No, I got it." I go, I'm yelling because it's so loud.
Right.
"Take your foot off the gas. Do not touch the brake. You're not as good as you think." Boom, 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 boom. We roll over. His helmet went flying. My buddy Billy Broomfield gets up. He thought he died. He's like running back. And we were fine. We landed on all four wheels, but it was $1,500 deductible.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, hey.
All from what? Not listening.
I'm going to call. Well, yes. Number one, yes. And number two, inexperience, right? You're not having a feel for different
How much
vehicles.
Experience you need to be driving one of those to go 90 miles an hour? I mean, every day for a couple of years.
No. What I meant by that is I think when you drive a variety of different cars, or you've been behind the wheel of a variety of different cars, you start to get a feel for what it's like to be in different things.
Yes.
Not that I knew what these were, but I can tell. I don't know. It's just something.
I'm not one to brag, but I do Uber a lot.
Yeah, sure.
I drive people's other places with their car. So sometimes I fly down and bring my friend back in her car. I drive minivans or passenger vans and always just go slow. Between 85 and 55. If you're going 55 and you want to go 85, you're saving 3 minutes, if that.
Yeah.
You're not getting there a half hour early.
Yeah.
I mean, myself on certain trips, I've GPSed it and I'm like, okay, I'm going to be there at 7:30. I can make it at 7:20. But you've got to be going 85 miles an hour.
Right.
Now, there was
I always like to see
the
if
last time I floored it was I got out of bartending at 7, and this was to go to Delago. And I had to get my tips, do my credit card things, and the concert started at 8 for Delago. I think it was Night Ranger. And I was
Sister
there.
Christian.
Oh, the time has come. Yeah, I think I made that in 40 minutes, but I was flying.
Damn.
Yeah. That was 90. I think I was doing 90.
On 490 and everything?
490 to I-90 to Waterloo exit.
Now, I don't want to, because I just said it bothers me. Now, there was a time when I was doing morning radio, and I will say, I'm going to say the person's name. God rest his soul. One of the most sensitive men I have ever met in terms of feeling, and yet like a guy's guy kind of guy. It would have been Tom George. Tom George was a radio personality.
I remember the name.
And he did traffic for a lot. So when the company absorbed the station I was on, they built us a studio around the corner and kind of tucked away. It was ridiculous. It was you were treated whatever. So neck disc down was Tom, basically in what would be a closet was his traffic thing, and he did traffic for the television stations, and he was doing it for all the stations in the building. So Tom,
now, for people that don't know, the traffic weather guy, he just goes from radio station. There's 5 radio stations in a building, and he'll just bounce around from each one.
Well, he would either
here's time with the traffic, and then he'll go to the next. Oh, here's time with the traffic.
He would bounce around, but Tom would do it right from that basic closet, and they would just connect, however it was. But yes. So, and then sometimes he would bring his little Maltese Bichon Frise or whatever it was, little dog with him as well. and he had like some big Corvette, and he would always ask me about Mary Tyler Moore because I had worked for I worked for her. I did landscaping at her house. I didn't work for Mary Tyler Moore. I saw her. I don't think I ever spoke with her or anything. All I know is that I got yelled at by her husband because they had a pond down like out of view of the house down on the property. And I went down there to garden one day because I was 17 and I had just graduated high school. I was going to turn 18 later in the summer, and I was really hungover. And I said, I'll go down and weed that garden. And it was on this little peninsula that went out into this really picturesque pond on their property. And I wound up taking a little nap under the tree until Dr. I forget his name came down on his four-wheeler with his raincoat on, which I was always like, what is that? I think because shit would fly up at him. He didn't like getting hit with it. I really did. I'm thinking it was like his coat of armor, but he had a yellow rain slicker on and it wasn't raining. And I'm under this tree, man. He lit me up. What am I paying for? So I think I got in trouble that week. I don't remember much after that. But Tom would love to come in and shoot the shit with us in the morning. And he always had some kind of almost borderline dad joke he'd open up with. And he was funny. He had some like quick liners and all this stuff. But if you didn't, am I going to say this? Well, no, he's no longer on the planet. He passed away. Well, if you didn't pay him enough attention, it was like you hurt his feelings. You slighted him. Okay. And he would be like, what's your problem? Why were you saying anything to me? And all you're trying to do is get ready to do a 4-hour talk show where you're competing against, honestly, I would have put this at that time, one of the most competitive morning drive markets in the country. You had Kimberly and Beck and Brother Weeze, and you had me and Tommy, and I wanted to beat them all. So I was dialed in, and I'm trying to just go through last minute prep and all this stuff I had written, and I'm looking at new stuff that just came out overnight and blah, blah. And if I didn't pay him, so I started not coming in because I didn't want to deal with it. I couldn't deal with the moping Tom or the hurt Tom. Like, it was, honest to God, I'm not even kidding. So I would stay home till about, I would get up like I would normally do. I had an office in my house. I would go downstairs, and at about, I would time it so I would leave at like 5:45, but I would have to go 90 miles an hour to get into the city, to walk into the studio as our opening music played. And I would sit down.
Really? You timed it that way?
Yeah, I timed it like that because I did that towards the end of my time there because it was like,
wow.
Yeah. Cause it was like, everything was like, I had one more fucking thing I needed to deal with. Right. I had the two little boys at the time. Jameson's just born. He's a baby. You got all this shit going on at your own house that, right. And like, I would come home. I didn't even know half the shit that was happening in the house, but you're all of a sudden coming in. Okay, I got it. And then it was just chaotic. So, and then you got hurt feeling Tom. I'm like,
you don't need that one.
No.
Yeah.
So I just decided that I'm flying in. I had a maroon minivan at the time. Sexy car, Tuck. Just fucking sexy. Cheerios in the back.
Oh, yeah.
Yogurt smeared into the rug. I think there might have been a DVD player that came down from the ceiling. You could watch in-flight movies.
Did you ever
most of the time it was the Wiggles.
Did you ever have SUV sex? That's 2 in the front and 5 in the rear.
So
Go ahead.
I'm flying.
I love minivans, by the way.
They're great cars. Yeah. I mean, they really are.
Mom vans.
Well, I mean, it's easy to open up. If you have kids,
I'm easy.
They're easy to clean. They're easy to clean. So
the hanging DVD. Yes,
I'm flying.
Revolutionary.
Yeah,
Go ahead, yeah.
Like you had the thing it dropped down. I think I did aftermarket in one of them. I should have never done that. I should have just gone with the market. I'd never do that again. Some of the aftermarket stuff just doesn't work. So
you're flying in.
I'm flying in. I'm doing 90, and I'm coming up. I'm coming from the east side. So I'm on 490 West, and I'm just before Linden Avenue.
Okay.
And I can see I get lit up, and I'm like, oh, shit. So I pull over to the side, and I notice that it's more like when I look in the rearview mirror as I'm leaning over to get my registration and all out, it's more than one
car.
Monroe County Sheriff. I lean over, Doug. I'm looking through the glove box, so out of view, right?
Mm-hmm.
I pop up, and there's an officer with a gun in the front of my car. pointed right
You're
at
bent
me.
over and he doesn't know what you're going after.
Well, I don't know. So I'm like, oh my God.
I think that's the reason, Bill.
So and I always would say when I told the story on the radio, I said it was a female officer only because she was, again, like you described one earlier, this petite little, but man, I mean, had the stance, the guns on me. And the other officer, there's one behind me now, and then there's this guy who's coming up like sideways along the car, and he says, license register, where are you headed? And I said, I'm going to work. I work at, and I say the station. They go, oh, there was a robbery at Woodcliff this morning, which is a hotel on the east side.
Yes.
And the description of your car fits the vehicle.
Wow, yeah.
So I'll run into that guy at like different festivals. I think he's retired. He had his 20 plus years in, and he works security sometimes, and he'll always come up to me and go, hey, remember me? I go, how can I forget? How can I forget? I think I was like one of those moments where if you've ever had a gun pointed at you,
You're going to remember.
And it is, and look, with police, I'm hoping that they're not trigger happy. They weren't. Well, no. I mean, look, if someone's pointing a gun at me and it's not an officer, now I'm a little more scared than I am if it is an officer. That's all I'm saying. They're trained. All I know is they're better trained than I don't give a shit how many.
I just don't like that trigger happy for an officer. I don't.
No, and look, or I made a false move and you thought it was a gun. You can't, like, you can't.
That's the reason they give them guns.
I've had exactly. So all I know is that I almost shit my pants, and then I didn't get a ticket though. Slow down and be kind to us is what they said. Be kind to us on the radio.
I'm sure you talked about it that day.
Yeah, I go because I was like 3 minutes late, and
just 3 minutes.
I think so. I might have left a little. Maybe I left at 5:35 every morning, and I would go in. I don't know. It was whatever. It just is one of those things, and that's when I was. But there was no one on the roads.
Oh, that early? Okay.
There was nobody on the roads. Like, you know what I mean?
That makes more sense.
5:30, we start to get a little. This town kind of wakes up early.
Rochester?
Yeah, some businesses are starting to cook there, right there. I saw this story, and I don't know what to think about it. I meant to pull the audio for the story, but I'll just tell it to you.
Sure.
It's a family checks into an Airbnb, and you imagine you've been to Airbnbs, right? You throw your bags down, and
a father, a mother, a son, and a daughter, and a grandmother, and they say, we're the aristocrats.
God, I love that joke. I have that documentary. It's not as good the second time.
No,
it was all right.
My buddy told me about that years later. What it was.
The aristocrats?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Comedians went to private parties, and they would try to
outdo each other in the most filthy manner.
Filthiest way. Yeah.
One of the worst, most filthiest people, I think, even on
Gilbert Gottfried did it a roast. Bob Saget was a fan of it.
Bob Saget was the filthiest one on the documentary.
Yeah.
Bob Saget was just.
I did see that documentary years ago.
Lovable guy. Mm-hmm. What a nice man.
You know what I was thinking we should do for fun? What? Is maybe not. I did this in high school. Is write each other's obituaries. You ever done that for any coworkers?
I did that on the radio. Yes, years ago. I did. Yeah, and now I have a friend who does. They get together with a bunch of their like college friends, and they do what do they call it? Not a funeral, but a liveral, where they have you lay out. The person lays out, and everybody else gets up and eulogizes them about their life. Huh. And it's an interesting concept, right? Because it's everything that you would want to say to the person before you're not going to see them, at least in this form, ever again, right? So it's a great concept if you're doing it for that. And we had fun with ours, obviously. But yeah, I don't, because I think I'm pausing because I thought I read an article one time about a guy who was dying, had a very short time to live, and went to basically a memorial service for him, for this guy, and people got up and basically eulogized him and said all the stuff they wanted to say. And I think he died 2 days later, but he was on oxygen, the whole thing. And he's sitting there. And I thought, what a nice thing, what a nice way to leave if you could do it.
Oh my gosh, absolutely. I think
right?
if
What
I
a
knew my
wonderful,
time,
yeah. I mean, if you knew we were down to any,
if I was down to 24 hours, we'd be out tonight drinking for those 24
Well,
hours till I passed out.
but
and then
nobody
went.
knows.
Nobody knows,
Right.
no.
You know, because how many times have we heard 4 weeks to 4 months and then the person's still alive a year later?
Mhm.
Right. Okay. So I don't know what that's about, but it would be a nice thing. I think you'd like to know. Right.
Well, my great aunt died 2 weeks ago, and we're having a service tomorrow. And I was asked by her daughter to read, and then her sister asked my dad to read.
Oh, is it a competition?
Not a competition, but
teasing.
the last eulogy I tried to read 2 sentences for my stepsister's father, and I got through one sentence and I started bawling, and I couldn't get through it. I couldn't get through the second
That's your
sentence.
aunt's?
No, my stepsister's father. So I don't know whether they thought maybe they didn't communicate, but like, you'll never be able to get through that. And I'm like, well,
This
maybe
is
I
your.
can.
Who is this again?
This is my great aunt that passed.
Okay.
So my
Were you
father's
close?
aunt. Well, I saw her a couple times a year. She
Yeah.
was 95. Saw
Okay.
her over the years. Great woman. So my dad's reading tomorrow. I had written something, and I read it to Lori, and I sent it to my. She's got 3 siblings, a brother and 2 sisters, and I gave it to my dad Sunday. So I don't know if he's going to incorporate it or what. So
You're going to have him do it.
He's not going to read all of mine, I don't think.
Yeah, but it's a eulogy he's doing.
Yeah, about her life.
Yeah.
So I try to
I
make it short, not short and sweet, but mostly about her.
Mm.
She got married. She had 4 kids, and she had 9 grandkids, and she had, I think, 13 great grandkids.
Why aren't they like eulogizing her? How'd you get?
I think I think it might be too hard for the close family.
Yeah.
And then I think one of the grandkids are.
You know what's
Not
interesting
sure about the lineup.
is sometimes when
The lineup, like a baseball lineup.
sometimes when the death is so personal, it almost doesn't affect those closest immediately. And and it's more peripheral players, and I don't mean that for you, that are deeply affected. I remember a friend's dad died of liver failure when we were kids, and she seemed fine at the funeral. Like, it was, you're kind of like, whoa. And yet one of her best friends could not stop crying.
Yeah.
And I remember saying something to my father because we were young, and he's like, it's a different thing when it's that close. It's almost like you can't come to terms with it.
Right.
Well, I'll tell you this. Here's an interesting thing.
Let me say this.
Yeah.
I think funeral directors and even priests, the church or wherever you speak, when I talk to a bride and groom, who's doing the officiating? Oh, my best friend. Okay. I'm not trying to be rude. Tell him this is wedding.
Yeah.
Not a best man speech.
No.
Because I've been to those. And also, who's giving the speeches? You can make it
Tell
as
them
long
it's
as
not
you
a
want.
roast.
No, you can have fun, but make sure they're, I just say, have them practice it. Because I've been there where they're fumbling through pages. And they're repeating themselves, and they just keep going. And the same as eulogies. You get some older people up there, and I'm not saying dementia. They're trying to say something nice and really, put their whole life together, but you can tell it wasn't really prepared, and nobody helped them. And then you have older people around you. Gosh, I hope nobody talks like that when I die. I'm like, oh Jesus, didn't anybody help this poor guy? Did anybody call him? Are you calling somebody right now?
Nope.
Okay.
I'm just returning a quick
No,
text.
that's all right. So
There's a lot
to
of
be
family
prepared.
stuff. Go ahead.
Be prepared for, and go over it.
Yeah. To that end, I will tell you, I remember when my brother got married, and I was to give the toast, and my father was up my ass. It's not a roast. It's not a roast. And I agreed. But I did. Basically, I was the best man in my college roommate's wedding, and I have apologized over the years as I got older and really realized
you told me
what I
this,
did. Yeah.
and I couldn't believe it.
Well, he would get drunk and he pissed in the sink, and then he pissed in somebody's sneakers when we were living together. And so I said, now it is your job to do what his mother couldn't do and potty train him. And to help you with that, I pulled out and put a 5-pound bag of kitty litter on the dais, and everybody started laughing. But now that I look back, I go, that was really awful. And I think some of the best speeches that, because you'll see right now, everybody sees everything online. Some of the best ones I've ever seen are lightly digging, and more kind and fun and memorable, or self-deprecating. You saved me when and that's
I've heard about those too.
It was a much better way to do it.
Bill was there on my 9th time of AA and took me every week. And
that's the wedding
10
crashers.
days. Yeah, I know.
Oh God, that's
10
so
days
funny.
clean.
Yeah, and
that actually happened to a buddy of mine. He told me years ago he went to Long Island, and it was just like Wedding Crashers. Looking back, that he was gone through AA a bunch of times, and he was crying, and I mean, just blubbering. And you're like, oh God, get this poor guy off the stage. And he was drunk, and it's
bad. But then when it came to doing, this has been something that was rather eye-opening for me, but for reasons that I'll touch on. But I did I guess we had a memorial service for my grandmother, who was 96 when she passed away, but I loved her. And I found a lot of the things she said absolutely hysterical. And I would almost bait her to do things from the time I was young, because I swear she always left the letter L out in the word clock with some New York accent. So I used to like, I would say to the other kids on the block, they'd be like, I'd hear Billy, and I'd come over, go, come on. And I'd say, hey, she goes, what time are you guys going to be done? I'm going to have dinner ready at whatever. And I said, okay. Hey, Grandma, what time does that show come on? I think just about 8 o'clock, honey. And I used to fucking roar. I loved it because all my buddies, I just kicked out my own light. It was one of the funniest things for me. And let's see there. Whoa.
Oh, there you
go. Whoa. That's a little bright.
Blinded by the light.
So
woke up in
the when I'm giving her eulogy, and we're at
you gave your grandmother's eulogy?
Yeah. And she and I had a kind of a unique bond, I would say. Mm-hmm. And I started to crack and cry. And it was years later that Jameson, my youngest son, said to me, and this is interesting to me, just in terms of guys, and as I do the mental health stuff, it's why I want to work with like men, because I just don't think, I think it's a societal thing. He goes, I didn't know. His words were, I didn't know boys were allowed to cry. I had never seen you cry. Now, I can tell you, like, there was nothing that I went, suck it up, we don't cry here. Hey, a little sissy. It was never anything I did like that. It's just not how I am. And
also, there was never a reason for you to cry. Or at least,
there fuck was.
Okay.
Every time something happened in that house, it was like living in a frat house and running around. Someone's crying. Someone's got their shirt off. Someone's puking. I don't know what's happening. I'm teasing. But it was a joke. You're right. There was nothing like this to cry. You're 100% right.
I'll tell you, I can relate to that because I remember when my grandmother died, we went to Ohio, and my grandmother's sister, Ruth, my uncle, John, he bent over with a baby, give her a hug, and he started crying. That was a one and only time I ever saw. And that's kind of shocking.
Right.
Because you never see it from a loved one like that. You know?
No. And so I think for Jameson, that was the time.
And like him and like I, it just sticks in your head.
But then last year, I gave the eulogy at my dad's, and I didn't cry. I cried sitting a little bit in the front row. And I've been told by some people who are more like energy people, I'll leave it at that, have said to me, I don't think you've grieved your father's death. Like they've told me that. And
were you there when your dad died?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you cry then?
Yeah.
You must have.
We did. My brother and I like hugged it out, and we were.
Sometimes you get it out.
But I don't know. So, but when I didn't write it. I had everything kind of in my head, and I had the beats, and I knew what I wanted to say, and I knew where I was going to go.
Well, you're a professional talker.
Well, see, this is the thing.
Journalist.
So I'll tell you this.
Radio personality. So
I do it right, and it landed, and it was everything I wanted it to be for him. Mm-hmm. It really was. He wanted he had this thing. This is what he told us. I want a church service. I want a coffin in a church service. I want to then be cremated. And then I want a big party when the dust settles. So that's what we did. When in October, we had a river cruise on the Hudson. And anybody who couldn't make it to Maine when we had the funeral was there from, that he worked with and stuff. And that was nice. But I gave it at the church. And it's funny you say that because one of my brother's buddy said to him, "My God, that was an amazing eulogy, your brother." He goes, that's what he does.
I would not have said that.
I think that's what my brother said.
Really? Was he joking?
Yes, a little bit. But even
a little bit.
Even the priest, we were at a wine place later, and I always think they're blowing smoke up your ass, but it was he wasn't I guess he was more of a pastor, right? Because this was that kind of church. And he said to me, that was one of the best eulogies I've ever heard. And I said, thank you. I don't know. He didn't have to say it, right?
He didn't have to.
And honestly, what I loved most about it,
instead of saying it was one of the best I've ever heard, he could have just said, "You did a very nice job today."
Yeah.
But going that extra, one of the best I've ever heard, that makes it more.
Oh, it does.
Yeah.
And I thought, he goes, it was really like you captured. And I said, yeah, I mean, he was a complex individual who I absolutely loved and adored, and was my hero, and a brilliant man. And I think we got all that out, had a love of language and words, and I threw in some of those things from the regional unabridged dictionary of regional English that we learned those words. I mean, he was a unique, weird, fucking funny. Oh my God. Like inappropriately funny, which was what I loved as a kid. And he knew I loved it. And it was like, yeah. And he would say things to me all the time. And when I was growing up, he's like, I don't know you, but I know your father, and I don't trust him.
Said that to you?
He would say it to me all the time.
I don't know you, but I know your father.
I don't know what you're going to do, but I know what your father would do, and I don't trust. He was right. And that was the thing, is like, most of the time he would say stuff to my mother, and my mother would be like, "Oh, he didn't do that, Bill." My father, and then he'd be like closest to the pin if I didn't do it. It was like just outside the cup.
Do they still think you have to grieve more? Some people telling you?
My heart was closed. It felt like my heart was closed. It's the energy of my heart. Don't
repeat this.
No, it's not. Don't repeat it. It's just like, I know it sounds weird to some people.
From the eulogy or from just your dad passing? If you don't cry in front of people.
No, this was months later. Like somebody said, your heart chakra. You ready? Mm-hmm. Your heart chakra is very cold. Everything else is open, but your heart chakra is very cold.
Well, I don't think that's fair of somebody to say that.
No, they just said, I think that maybe you haven't properly grieved your father's death. And I said, I don't know that I have, because I don't know if I know how to. And I will tell you, and the reason I'm bringing this up is this weekend would be the 1-year anniversary. Mm-hmm. And both my mom and dad went to colleges around here. One went to the all-girls school, and my dad went to what was then all guys. And by the way, neither one of them, they're co-ed now. And my mother said, I'd like to drive through the campus that the college that she went to. And so we drove through, and she had lived her senior year in a house that's kind of up on a hill, a little bit away from the main part of the campus. It's absolutely beautiful. What they've done at Nazareth University is, I mean, it looks great in there. And she was peeking in the windows, and I swear to God, it was like she time traveled. Listening to her tell the stories, and her whole face lit up and everything. Mm-hmm. And then we went over to Fisher, and I have now spilled this on the podcast, and I hope it doesn't. There's nothing that's going to happen other than I don't think. But my brother gave me some of my dad's ashes and said, sprinkle it at Fisher. Yeah. And so what I did was, because I thought, what if I sprinkle it outside one of the dorms you lived in and somebody thinks I'm dumping something? You know what I'm saying? Like, I really thought, like, if security, they catch you on the camera. So I called the school, and they got back to me and said, we are a Catholic university, and the Catholic faith does not believe in cremation.
Right.
So I said, okay. And then I thought, what am I going to do? So I but now we're heading into winter. So there was I think Father's Day. I went over with my sons, and we sprinkled a little bit outside a dorm and then under a tree, and no big deal. Right. No big deal. I'm saying to my mom, this is
probably not the first time it's been done.
I got it.
Probably not the
thing.
last.
No.
Maybe you want some of your ashes sprinkled there to be with your dad.
So I
Sprinkle it around. We like paprika. A little bit here, a little bit here. What is it? Just a little garnishing. You're not gonna worry about it. Just a little sprinkle here. We're gonna put it in
Moranago.
We're gonna put it in Parma and Fairport everywhere.
So when I started to tell her, I caught myself. Like I was about to cry. I just caught myself. So I'm thinking that this is gonna start to hit me this week a little bit.
Maybe.
So there you go.
Well, sometimes you get it all out. I mean, you see, you bonded with your brother, you hugged, and you know,
we did, and we had a really great week because he was unconscious in hospice for the entire week that we were there, and
sometimes it's easier knowing that it's coming and you're preparing yourself better for that instead of just getting a phone call.
Yeah, and the weird part was he had said he started calling people like a week earlier because he was falling a lot from Parkinson's, and he said, I'm dying. And I remember his brother getting annoyed, going, you don't die from Parkinson's, he's fine. And when we got him to a higher level of care where he was at the facility, we had to move him to another building, and that was when I got one of the funniest phone calls of my life because we had to help him shower and stuff, and he was very embarrassed by that. And then he said, hey, Willie, the woman showed up today to give me a shower. Let me tell you something. She left no stone unturned. And I just remember going, well, there it is. There he is. He's still the guy. All right, we'll take a moment. Doug, we've done a long one today already.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Feels good.
It does. We'll do a quick little set. I want to talk about this Airbnb thing and just see what people think. We'll get to that right after this.
Armageddon. I could close my eyes just to hear you breathing. I saw Motley Crue open up for Aerosmith about 20 years ago. I'm driving friends this Saturday to Darien Lake to see Motley Crue.
Look at that.
Yeah.
How much fun
girls,
is that gonna be?
Yeah, buddy.
That'll be fun.
I get a lawn seat and just walk around and people watch.
If you're going to Motley Crue Saturday, look for Dougie Fresh as the safe driver, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Slow.
I will Friday night. I will be at the Comedy Club, part of the Rochester Comedy Festival, for the Wee's family reunion. He's doing
the Carlson.
He's doing his podcast live there, and there's going to be a lot of surprise people. I don't think they know, but like BJ Shea's coming back. It's kind of the history of the show. I think Shandy's going. I don't know.
Wow, I haven't heard that name in a while.
Yeah, so I'll be there. I did an episode that I think is out now with Weez. I didn't even. I was unaware that it dropped, but I've been. I don't know where I've been.
You're just taking one step at a time.
Well, my mom was in town. It was her 79th birthday.
79.
Yeah,
woo,
that's
woo.
it, buddy. Right there.
In the wheelhouse.
That's right.
Hey.
We went to an outdoor venue, like bar. It's called Backwoods, and they had a band, and we sat there, and I met a couple friends, and I brought a friend of mine, and then on Saturday there was a family that was really close with our families growing up, and the most of the kids were older than me, and the guys would babysit us. We built jump. One guy was a real rule follower, so he always had you in bed. The other guy's like, I don't care, but once those headlights hit the window and your parents are pulling up the driveway, get your ass in bed. He would bring over a giant boom box because it was the 80s. He taught me a card game named Bullshit. We would build jumps with the ramps in the driveway. My father had these, I don't know, he would work on cars and stuff sometimes. He hated it, but he did it. And I would build jumps off that, and I'd be jumping, see how far I could go on my little Huffy.
Mm-hmm.
And I loved it. And then years later, my mom heard a lot of these stories. I would call up and go, hey, can you help me replace all the liquor? There were times when my parents were gone.
And the babysitter would drink?
No, the babysitter, I was like, at this point, they were really close family friends. So at this point,
wait, who's asking who to replace?
I am asking them. I'm like 17.
Oh.
And when my parents would leave town and leave me home, it became risky business without the hookers.
Right.
That's what it was. I mean, it was like a motel. I failed the chemistry regents, And my punishment was I had to stay home and take it again in the summer and buy a plane ticket to meet them because they were all driving to somewhere on vacation. They were gone. I practically had my buddies move in. We had a freaking blast, and I failed with a worse grade the second time. And my father, when I graduated high school, was so pissed because in New York State, it's the only state that does this. You get a Regents diploma. I didn't get a Regents diploma. And I'll never forget, he like grabs me by the arm, right? They're all waiting on the hallway. Graduation. My mom's dad happens to be there too, Grandpa Ed. Grandpa Ed was a quieter guy, but loved to have fun, big kind of partying personality, fireman in New York City for a number of years, had retired from that, was now security. He was a security guard, like overnight at the Chrysler building in the city. And he would come with like these accordion folders full of pads and pens. He was like, yeah, all the lawyers just leave them in there. So I just go on. He was stealing them is what he was doing. Right. But he'd be like, Billy, you need it for school. So
free is free.
I graduate, and my father says to me, he grabs me, he goes, I don't know whether to shake your hand or kick your ass. You practically had a drool and you got an award and you got nothing. Right. This is in the hallway, right after I get off stage. And my grandfather goes, hey, it's a celebration today, Bill. I was saying Bill. That's my dad's name too. And yeah, so
you could practically drool and get an award.
Yeah, that's what he said. He goes, people were practically drool, they got an award. You got nothing. And he wasn't wrong. I mean, I can say that. He wasn't wrong. I might have had ADHD and just had too much
Maybe.
fun. I mean, I did climbed to the top of stalls and tried to hit the toilet.
Right.
Call bombs away. That was one of my favorite things. There's this story that is trending today online, and it's interesting to me because it's one of these weird things.
You're aristocrats, people.
Yes. So they go to an Airbnb, and I don't know if you ask for royalties if this happens to you or if you ask for a refund, but there was a picture, almost an aerial picture that they had turned into a canvas shot, an aerial picture of a beach. Like this is in San Diego, and it's hanging on a wall in the hallway of the Airbnb. And the father walks by and he goes, yeah, that looks like me. And one of the daughters comes by and goes, oh my God, that is you. I remember that bathing suit, and there's me, and there's our sister, there's our little brother, they're all in this photo that's hanging on the wall, but it's more of an aerial shot. Like someone took just, I don't know, a scenic photo of the beach with people for whatever reason from a cliff up above. It doesn't, or maybe it was an aerial shot.
I'm not getting it. So this is the second time they've been to the Airbnb?
No, this is the first time they've ever been to this Airbnb.
This is on the second day or something?
This is the first day. They're just moved in. They just laid down their stuff. They're walking by. You can take pictures now and turn them into like canvas. So it looks like, right. So it's wrapped around. It's hanging in the hallway. This is on social media. The girls are talking and they show the picture, and they said, our father was walking by and he looks at the beach picture and he goes, boy, that looks like me. And then one of the girls steps back and goes, I think that is you. Now they had probably been but this would have been 10 years prior. So now they're at the Airbnb, and how weird is it that a picture of them, and it's a random picture. You know what I'm saying? It's not of people. It's an aerial shot of the beach.
The picture of them is in their Airbnb, which they've never been to.
Not in the Airbnb. The picture is of a beach with people on the beach. Dad's out in the water about waist deep, and they're all in that picture. At this Airbnb, that picture is hanging where they've never been.
That's what I'm asking. Yes.
Yeah. You get it now? I don't mean, I'm trying to make sure, because if you're not getting it, listeners aren't getting it.
Right.
Yeah. So, So
the picture's just not of that family.
It's a panoramic picture of a bunch of people at a beach.
Bunch of people.
Right.
Blown up enough that they can recognize themselves.
Yeah.
Wow, that's weird.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. And it was probably 10 years ago. And one of the daughters goes, Dad, I think you still have that bathing suit. Being a dad myself, he probably does. Especially with, I'm just saying, like, Dad doesn't buy shit. When you are the family.
The last time I bought a new bathing suit is when I tried one on to go away and it didn't fit.
Okay. There you go. But like, especially if you have daughters, and kids that are growing, you're going to buy them a new bathing suit first. And dads, you just don't care. How much does the dad's bathing suit change? And you know what? And if you're like in your nearly 60 and walking around in I think Chubbs it's the name of a brand that was very popular.
Chubbs?
Yeah. I'm like, okay, you know what? It doesn't matter. I'd rather skinny dip anyway, but I mean, you can't.
Nobody wants to see that.
No, not even me. But it's like, so now everybody has an opinion, basically, how many and I'll say this, and I'll ask you, because I was thinking about this stuff. How many coincidences does it take before you stop calling them coincidences? It is an odd thing that this family stayed at the very Airbnb, that there is an aerial shot, more or less, of a beach with many people on it, not specific of the family. It's just a high up above, and they
is the
themselves.
Beach near the Airbnb?
Yeah.
Okay.
They've been to that beach before, but it was 10 years prior, so they're kind of freaked out. And I go, as human beings, again, it comes back to, I just think we hate randomness, right? So they're sort of freaked out that they're in this picture, like it made them uneasy. And I go, we see faces in clouds. Somebody in Texas saw Jesus in the toast.
St. Mary, isn't that one?
Oh yeah,
that's been around for a while.
Shapes
in class and everything.
Shapes in the stars, right? We we see our ex's car everywhere after a breakup. You know what I mean? It's like,
did they show the picture?
Yeah.
Is it a nice picture?
Yeah, it just looks like
right.
an aerial shot of a bunch of people scattered on the beach. I was going to play the audio, I forgot to pull it, but I think our brains are built to connect the dots. And so it becomes like we have to make sense out of something. So sometimes it's brilliant when we do that, and it makes a lot of sense. And sometimes it's absolutely ridiculous.
I don't know. I think there'd be a way to look that up for whoever took the picture. You'd buy the picture.
Yeah.
The photographer's going to be on there.
Yeah.
Look him up.
Maybe they turned it over on the back. I don't have no idea. I just know. But I mean, people are saying, hey, my uncle as a kid, somebody bought a postcard of some resort town, and he's sitting there on a bench licking an ice cream cone, and he's in the picture that's on this postcard from, let's say, Rhode Island or whatever.
Right.
I mean, right. And we just do that. But I mean, look, I am starting to believe there are no coincidences in life. Like, it's almost like if that were me,
but it's planned.
No,
magically planned.
Just that there's something greater than us going on.
Oh, I don't
know. And so I would say, like, it's almost as though you're supposed to be at that Airbnb. That's why that happened.
Right.
It's almost.
I think there's something greater out in the universe, and they're looking at us going, "We don't want any part of that."
No. we want no part of that.
They've got a long way to go.
No, not whatsoever.
How many times are they going to have war?
Right. But I mean, the only thing that changes is people's interpretation of an event like this, right? Some people go, well, it's God working in a mysterious way to say, hey, you should be here, or it's, I don't know, somebody coming back to say hello, or, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, all that
There's
stuff.
all these little things. If you see a robin in your backyard, it's somebody that has passed away that wants to say hello.
Yes, yes, or a cardinal.
If your hand itches, it means money's going to pass over it.
Oh,
you never heard of those?
No. All right.
If your ears ring, somebody's talking about you.
Yeah,
you've heard that one.
Yeah, of course I did. Every fucking Irish fuck says that one. Hey, Billy, your ears are burning.
Oh,
hey, Billy,
my ears were burning Monday with that word.
Hey, Billy, were your ears burning? And I said, why? We were just talking about you. Okay, thank you.
It is amazing. I do believe in telepathy. That power of the mind can connect people, and I think in years to come, it will be even more so. When you have that phone call, you're like, I was just thinking about you, like me right now.
That's the coincidences that I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Those are the coincidences that I'm talking about. And I do think that that's true. And if it is
you think it's true we only use 10% of our brain? Is that what they say?
I don't know. I don't know. I have heard that. I have read that. I'm not sure. So God, I swear I saw something that says that's not true, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Because and by the way, they've done so many studies and things when people meditate or people, what they're looking at and stimulation, and I think they've even done things with people in porn and what parts of the brain fire up. The whole brain's fucking glowing in certain things. So where's the 10%?
Right.
But I don't know. I don't do any of the research. I'm not a researcher. So I always think, I don't know.
You research stuff.
Well, but what I'm saying is like, to be a researcher, you have to have, it's different. And here's an example.
Okay.
There's a great podcast that I would recommend to anybody that will go to what Doug just said, where he believes in telepathy, he believes there's telepathic powers, right? I will always believe that your thoughts are extremely powerful. And if you think you've got less, you will be held with less. If you think you can get more, you will be shown how you can get more. But
I like to be getting more.
In this, it's autistic children who are nonverbal. And a mother says, I can communicate with my daughter without speaking. And a researcher who I believe is a Harvard graduate who was living on the West Coast gets in contact and is contacted by this documentarian who is doing this called the Telepathy Tapes. And I haven't listened to the entire podcast. It's a series and it's very well done. And I think season 2 of it has dropped as well. But basically they put mom in a room and they show her a number, and then the daughter on a pad, because she's nonverbal, she communicates through one of these talk pads, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she types in the number, and she was 100 for 100. And then they go to all these other children with people who say that they believe this. The reason it can't be validated in research is you have to have a neutral party involved. So it would have to be someone who doesn't know the child, that the child could then do the telepathy. Well, just like you said, I was just thinking of you. It is people you have a connection with.
Yeah.
So they have a connection. Because I think the first family in it is from Mexico. So they don't speak English. Then they have an interpreter there. And dad doesn't have the telepathic power with the daughter, but the mom and daughter are very close. Then there's a story about like this kid who said he heard and saw all kinds of stuff and abuse and things that his father was doing, and the family, splits apart. And years later, he's in the documentary and he's communicating with his mom, and he's saying, and she's like, it freaked me out that he can read my thoughts. He knows what I'm thinking. Like, that part makes me uncomfortable. But then he's saying to me, I saw all this stuff, and tells me all these things that my husband did that turned out to be true. I mean, I can't, how do you explain it?
Some things you can't explain.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, and if I walked into an Airbnb and I saw an aerial shot of a beach and I picked myself out,
mm-hmm.
The only thing that would piss me off is that I don't look as good as I did 10 years ago. I had a 2-pack. I got nothing now.
Well, there's a shot of O'Loughlin's, and it was from one of the boatmasters, and he's just going through Genesee River at night and took a picture, and I'm in it.
Nice.
My back is in it.
Okay, but you can pick
but
yourself
I know
out.
it's my
Yeah,
So,
that's kind of fun.
Yeah, so things like that do happen.
Yes, they do.
That's a little more extreme, but
yeah, I mean, I was trying to think, like, if this happened to my family, I don't think, like, if it was my mom and dad and us as kids, it wouldn't be that big a deal.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that I would have made it a big deal with my kids. But if it were my grandparents, I think my grandmother's on the phone to a priest. I swear to God.
Maybe. Yeah.
I'm going. And my grandfather would have been, can we get a discount? We saw ourselves hanging in the
Right,
mall.
yeah.
I mean, that's the only thing I could think. I go, that's crazy. But I don't know. I think our biggest thing sometimes is that we want to believe that there's more to life than paying the bills.
Oh, there's got to be.
You know what I mean?
Good feelings and happiness,
sure.
laughter, especially laughter.
Yeah, and some people are commenting this. We live in a simulation. We're all in a simulation. What were you gonna say?
I saw Joel Lindley's
Kill
Tony.
Kill Tony.
Did you watch it?
I did not see the whole thing. I only saw a clip of it.
Yeah,
he did great. And
he was only on there for
we only get that.
Yeah,
you get
you only
60
get
seconds or something. And,
yeah,
and I think he was an audience pull, and not
he was a random. Yeah,
they just pull somebody from the audience and they let you come up, and he crushed.
Yeah,
he did a great job. I was very, very pleased to see that.
Mm-hmm.
The last time I saw Joel was at the DMV back in the spring. So, all right, for Dougie Fresh, my man who's not feeling too good. Woo! I'm Bill Moran. Any big plans? Just a couple funerals.
Yeah. Thurman Thomas Sunday at Red Wing Stadium. We got some jerseys for him to sign.
All right, cool.
Motley Crue Saturday night. Girls.
There you go. And I will be at the Rochester Comedy Fest, part of the Wheeze family reunion Friday night. I think that begins at 6 p.m. Would love to see you there. For Dougie Fresh, I'm Bill Moran. We'll see you next time.
On the interstate. See, they were looking for a Cadillac with Tennessee plates.